Hello there everybody, I'm Paul Barger, this is my YouTube channel. If you're watching this video, today we're talking about lithium batteries. That is what's in this cabinet right here. Now there's not much to see because it's all hidden. It's behind this piece of plywood, I have three GoldenMate 200 amp hour 12 volt batteries inside of this cabinet. And then on the other side, outside of this cabinet, there's one more battery. They're put together in series for a 48 volt system. Now, it couldn't be easier to put together a 48 volt system. I have always been intimidated by doing a high voltage system like this, but I'll tell you what, I've done a bunch of 12 volt stuff and this couldn't be any easier. It is crazy how much power comes out of this system. It has blown me away and I am forever sold on 48 volt systems. In this video, I want to talk about the GoldenMate batteries, the cost of the GoldenMate batteries compared to a conventional AGM battery, a flooded lead acid battery, and I want to compare their performance and what you're expected to get out of each of those types of chemistries for batteries. In my opinion, I'm a lithium guy all the way. I had AGM batteries in the bread truck many years ago. They just did not perform up to my standards, and lithium just blows them out of the water. There's no comparison in my opinion. I'm going to do a cost breakdown for you so that you can see AGM batteries versus lithium batteries, and to me today it's a no-brainer. Lithium is definitely the way to go. The prices have come down so crazy in the last few years. It is just a no-brainer to me to get lithium batteries. They are far superior over an AGM battery. To give you an idea of how this system is set up, like I said, there's three batteries in here, and then on the front side, just behind the driver's seat here, there's the additional fourth 12 volt battery. That is a GoldenMate battery. I am using GoldenMate batteries. The only glimpse I can give you of the battery is this right here. I can get a little peek at it on the front side, just behind that driver's seat. And that's where my batteries are stored. I've pretty much got it all finalized. I got all my cables managed. They're all tied down. Very neat. Those are the solar cables that come in from the roof. And when you open this cabinet up, the rest of the cables are right inside of here. Those solar cables come in from the outside, come into a breaker switch that go up into the EG4. And then the positive and the negative for the battery are right here. They go into a breaker switch and they go into the EG4 as well. And I have a Victron Smart Shunt. For anybody that's putting any kind of system together, 12 volt, 48, whatever, get a Victron Smart Shunt. They are awesome. I don't have the display. All I have is just the shunt, but it has Bluetooth and I can monitor all the performance from my phone with an app. I'm gonna go ahead and close this cabinet up to quiet the sound of the fan a little bit, and let's get into it. Let's get into the numbers. Let's get in the numbers of lithium versus lead acid batteries and those chemistries and how they compare. One of the main things I want to talk about when it comes to comparing the two is duty cycles. The duty cycles of a lead acid battery are about 10 times less than what you get with a lithium battery. You're gonna get 10 times the life out of a lithium battery than you do any lead acid battery. When we're talking about duty cycles of a lead acid battery, if you have a 200 amp hour battery, you can use 100 amp hours of it, that's 50%, and you can discharge it down to half. You can get 50% out of the battery. So you have 100 amp hours of usable battery. Most people do not use their lead acid battery in this way. They use much more than 50% of the capacity. So in a real world situation, you're only getting 4, maybe 500 duty cycles out of your battery. That is pretty minimal. I had some in the bread truck and they only lasted me really a couple years. They started showing their weakness really quickly. They can be damaged very easily if you go down below 50% state of charge. So it's really easy to damage those batteries and to lose capacity of the battery from when it was new. Now let's talk about lithium. Lithium batteries can be more in the range of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 duty cycles. That's about 10 times the amount of duty cycles that you can do with a lead acid battery. When you calculate the price of a lead acid battery versus a lithium battery, you're talking 10 times the lifespan. Your price per duty cycle with a lithium battery is much, much lower than a lead acid battery. What this means to you is that there may be a slightly higher upfront cost, but there's going to be a much longer lifespan of the equipment. You're going to get far more years of use out of a lithium battery than you will a lead acid battery. So what I would like to do is put up on the screen here a breakdown of the GoldenMate batteries, what they claim to have for duty cycles versus a typical AGM sealed lead acid battery. I'm just going to pick some off the internet and use those as an example, and they all vary a little bit, but there's really not much difference between different brands and different types. So what I did was I found a Renogy 200 amp hour AGM lead acid battery to compare with the GoldenMate batteries. Here is a Renogy battery on Amazon. As you can see, it's $379.99. This shows you cannot discharge it less than 50% or you're going to damage the battery. At a 50% depth of discharge, you get 500 life cycles out of this battery. Now here is the GoldenMate 100 amp hour battery. It's a difference of 100 amp hours, but it is the same usable power. From the GoldenMate website, you can see it is $245.99, cheaper than the Renogy battery. They also claim that it gets 4,000 life cycles, up to 15,000 life cycles depending on the depth of discharge that you set your battery system at. I believe these two batteries are very comparable in the amount of performance and energy storage that you get out of them. The 200 amp hour Renogy battery versus the 100 amp hour GoldenMate lithium battery. So let's break down the math a little bit. Here we have the Renogy AGM 200 amp hour battery, 100 amp hours of usable power. That's $379.99 for 500 life cycles. That brings your total to 75.9 cents per duty cycle of this battery. Now let's look at the GoldenMate battery. The GoldenMate 100 amp hour battery, you get 4,000 duty cycles out of it, and it's a cost of $245.99. That divided by 4,000 life cycles puts you at only 6 cents per cycle. The cost of lithium has come down so much in the recent years that the initial cost of the battery is way less than the AGM battery. I really can't see much reason to buy an AGM battery. So just for fun, I want to compare the batteries that I have, the GoldenMate 200 amp hour lithium battery versus the Renogy battery. It is still so much cheaper. It has slightly higher upfront cost, but it is still so much cheaper per duty cycle out of the battery. I believe this is about double the power storage and performance that you get out of an AGM lead acid battery, and the cost per duty cycle is so much less than any of the counterparts in the lead acid AGM battery world. Even when you're comparing the 200 amp hour GoldenMate lithium battery up against the 200 amp hour Renogy battery, which is double the storage, double the performance out of the battery, you are talking about a way lower cost per duty cycle. But I wanted to give you the numbers of what it is amp hour for amp hour. If you're going to compare 200 amp hours of lead acid versus 200 amp hours of LiFePO4 lithium power, this is what you get. The GoldenMate 200 amp hour lithium battery gets 4,000 duty cycles. The cost of this battery is $522.99, and even less if you use my promo code in the description of this video below. That brings the total cost per duty cycle to only 13 cents for a 200 amp hour lithium battery. Now, if you're going to put this up against the lead acid, you're talking it's 5 times less the price, 5 times the longevity, up to 10 times the longevity. There are so many pros versus cons over a lithium battery and a lead acid battery. To me, it's a no-brainer. There may be a few small use cases where a AGM lead acid battery might make more sense, but I think for the most part, a lithium battery is going to win in almost every category that you can conceive of. It's half the weight. You get twice the lifespan out of it. To me, lithium wins in almost every single category, and that is what I am going to be powering my life. Unless they come up with a new form of battery like a salt battery or something along those lines, I'm going to stick with lithium from here on out. Thank you to GoldenMate Lithium for sponsoring this video and sending out the batteries that I have in my rig. I think they are freaking awesome and they are performing out of this world. If you want to get some of your own lithium batteries, hit up the link in the description of this video below. Use my promo code and you will get these batteries for even less than they're advertised for on Amazon or on the GoldenMate site itself. Make sure you hit that link and you will get a big discount for your own lithium batteries. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown of AGM lead acid batteries versus lithium, and I hope to see you in another video real soon, right down the road.